Okay, what's going on, everyone? I'm gonna give you a quick message for this Christmas and before the year, which has been a great and beautiful year, I'm sure, for everybody ends. And I just wanted to thank everybody for all the support that I have received this year for my experiments and my production with SDRacing. And I wanted to give you a little look at what we have been coming up with during the year. So this is a little part of what has come out of the design studio since last January. Basically, everything started with the small production run with the freewheel, with the trike, 1.0 at first, and now 1.1, and probably we'll have a new version in the next year. So everything started with that when I realized that I have the capability to do small production run. And in the beginning I was doing more of a boutique manufacturing when I was using a lot of manufacturer parts, and as the year went by, of course, I started developing my own parts, the aluminum parts, of course, the graphite parts, the FRP parts for the cars. And so that has allowed me, of course, to work on countless projects, both in 112 over there, 110, and then 128 or 124 during the year. I have acquired, when the pandemic hit us here around February last year in China, a vacuum forming machine, which is when I started to design my own body, which I originally did them by hand. This is a handmade mold, and then as time went on, after first generation of 128 and a few bodies for the 112 trike, I started doing production molds in resin. And so this is what you can see now. Almost every one of the molds are now resin molds, except still for the trike, as much the small one as the 112, this one, the B2B as well, and the chemical Formula 1, for those are still handmade. This one is still handmade, and everything else is now from the resin mold. So the quality went up, but that allowed me to do quite a lot of learning during the year, and I'm really proud of everything that came out. So this, of course, is in the pipeline. It's not actually available yet. This is the long wheelbase F1, which is based on my vintage 375 platform, and it is mixed at the moment. It is using part as well from the Formula Pen, but it's going to be available a little bit differently once I have sourced and tested a little bit more. The sidecar, the one-wheel drive, real proper sidecar, this being a B2B, this is a BSB. This probably is going to see the light of day sometime in 2021. Of course, you have my FP with a back mono body, which is a really good performing platform that I really enjoy. 112 two-wheel drive pen car with the feel of a classic chassis, a swaying front end, and of course all the developments that I have done during this year on the one-piece chassis that I have for every one of my car that I have designed, be it this one, the F1, and even of course the 128 cars, which is cool because now I start to see that from quite a few manufacturers as well. The cuts that I called the flex cuts, you start to see it on some of the touring chassis, and so that's interesting to see that this is a solution that seems to be proper for not only I. And well, I'm just super proud of all these little guys that came out. On the chassis side, of course, you have the Classic Mini, which is a very simple platform for two-wheel drive classic cars from the 30s. You have my performance chassis, the PC00, that is a pan car, and that comes in MR and in RR, and that is going to come very soon in a F1 setting. At the moment, it comes from the store with this prototype body with the wing and a diffuser at the back. And then of course I have my Mini B2B, which comes as well as a Robin, Reliant Robin, which is a super fun car to drive. I am dropping probably next year the graphite to only work on FRP because the cost is just so much lower, and it's not really the performance really don't change much. The flex is a little bit different, but I really enjoy having the things as low cost as possible. And then of course my favorite of all is the 375, the vintage F1 car that has all the scale accessories inside, the motor and the little part for the transmissions, and those beautiful wire mesh wheels, and this gorgeous body that I'm really happy about. And so I'm really proud of all these things that came out. The body for the MST, and then I have a really big quantity now of bodies for Mini-Zs. Most of them are 98. The older one, the Gen 1, like this one, which is a handmade mold, come in many different sizes. Then the Gen 2, the Gen 2s are pretty much all 98 wheelbase. Some can fit 102, but it's mainly 98 because it's mainly made for cars such as this one, the AMR or the GLR or the GLA, and cars that are mainly in 98 wheelbase. It's not really designed for the Kyosho audience. And so here you go. I just wanted to thank everyone for the amazing support and following that I have had during this first year as a mini production company for those RC cars. And I can tell you there is going to be a lot more cool stuff coming up in 2021. It's not going to be crazy fast paced like I have done, because I wanted to launch, have a nice catalog of parts and kits available quickly, and now I'm going to work on focusing on different projects and make them the best they can possibly be. So you'll see that the classic, the B2B are going to be a little bit changed, and once I have done that, I'm probably going to work on those platforms as well. So everyone, wish you all a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are safe wherever you are, and that you're gonna be able to have a little bit of fun with your family around you, and have a super cool new year. And I will see you again very soon for a lot more RC stuff. Alright, see you everyone, bye bye.